Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. We're gonna get right into it today because you know exactly why you're here. You and a lot of other people that are watching this video are just equally susceptible to the brain rot that continues to go on every single day and probably has been happening for the past 10 years of your life as you've been on social media. I wanna say the internet is not your friend. It is destroying your brain and you don't even know it, and you're not gonna realize it as long as you keep letting it consume you, be the way that your mind works. Let's get into the psychology of it. You may or may not know, but your brain does not finish developing until the end of early adulthood. For men, that's going to be near the end of their 20s. For women, that's going to be at the beginning of their 20s. But you could have different influential factors in your life that make it prolonged or that make it earlier. Trauma or just being mollycoddled, not exposed to certain situations that give you the situational insights that you may need to just be more mature. Because of that, you need to understand that these are the most crucial years to take care of your mind and doom scrolling. You need to understand that if you do not let yourself get out of this now, it is going to be how your brain will work for the rest of your life. You look at your mother and you look at your father, they're like 50, 60 years old. They've been the exact same way that they have been for the past 30, 40 years, right? They tell you all these stories about how when they were teenagers, when they were young adults, they did all these fun, cool things, they had all these interests, blah, 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 blah. And then one freaking day, they decided that they only like one specific food. They're gonna eat the exact same meal every single day for the rest of their life. It's not just coincidence that every adult is like that. It's because you reach an age where your brain is just done. And the way that you carried your life up until that point when it finishes is how you are going to handle yourself for the rest of your life. Yes, people can continue to learn, people can continue to change, but I'm just talking about generally and overall. You can't change your cognitive mindset. You cannot change your critical thinking and the level that it happens at after you reach a certain age. That's as far as it's gone. In this video, I'm going to explain many different ways that you can stop letting this country, or maybe you're watching from another country, where you can let either social media or your own government stop destroying you and conditioning you in ways that are only gonna hurt your health and benefit them. First, we're gonna get physical. Do not eat junk food. I'm not saying that you cannot indulge in sweet treats or delicacies after you've rewarded yourself from exercising or from dieting. That's not what I'm saying. When I say junk, I mean junk. I mean food that is filled with chemicals that are meant to keep you addicted, chemicals that are meant to make you grow larger than your body is naturally supposed to. For example, especially in America, I can't really speak for other countries because honestly, when it comes to the FDA, they're way better than us. But when it comes to even livestock, since I was a child, I had no choice over this growing up because my family was poor, so they just paid for the most affordable food, which was the steroid-filled milk. For example, the cows that we would get our milk from, if it was not organic or grass-fed or natural, whatever, and they weren't, they would be cows that were injected with steroids to make them grow larger and grow faster so that we could produce more meat off of their bodies to sell and to unnaturally produce more milk out of them to sell. And it doesn't just stop there. Those are chemicals that you are consuming. Those are unnatural chemicals that are altered in a lab that you are later going to consume. So not only are you just eating cows that had a miserable lifestyle and they were being shoved by a tube in their throat, but you're also eating it and it's gonna make you larger. And this isn't rocket science. I'm a child of two short people. My mother, she's Asian. She is probably like 5 foot tall. My father, he's French. He's like 5'7". All of his family members are maybe the same height as him, if not shorter. And I am literally towering over my parents and my sisters as well. I'm towering over my sisters, but that's honestly because I drank so much milk when I was a kid. But even my sisters are taller than both my parents. That's not genetics. I can literally go look at my entire bloodline. That's not genetics. None of them are taller than me. It's because I was the only generation that was raised in this country, the US, that was consuming the food and the milk from all of these unnaturally produced consumables. And I also had a conversation with my cousin that lives in England, and she was saying that there was an exchange student that came from America that was in her class that was complaining that she was below average height. And this exchange student from America saying that she was below average height in America was taller than every other kid in her class in the UK. And my cousin was saying like it wasn't even that she was fat or anything. Like it wasn't even that she was like unhealthy. She was just large. Even the way that her shoulders broadened out and her proportions were just larger and they were just big. And that has nothing to do with genetics because America it's a melting pot. You have people coming from everywhere. Everybody that's in America came from a different country besides the natives. Processed and chemical foods are also mostly illegal in other countries as well. For example, high fructose corn syrup, just corn syrup plainly. Unless you're in Canada, North America, or whatever, it's illegal in other countries. Red 40, yellow 5, blue 4, whatever they're called, they're illegal everywhere else because they know what they do to your body. Not only are they meant to be addictive to make you want to go back and consume more, but it's just artificial. These are not natural ingredients that you can go and pick out of a plant. We should be eating whole foods. Even organic wheat in America is not real. I don't know how to explain that really, but you can have celiac disease in America and then you go out in Europe and you eat bread 5 times a day, nothing's gonna happen to you. I swear, because that's exactly what happens to me. When I eat bread in America, I blow up like a balloon. I will limit myself to like 1 piece of bread a week and I'll still feel horrible and I'll still have the worst stomach aches, and it will be organic bread as well because that's the only type of food I buy. And then I go to Europe and I have whatever food I want. It doesn't even matter if it's the most sweet, sugar-filled or fatty thing. I still feel great because it's natural and it's meant to be digested and processed by our bodies. I understand that it's cheaper to go get junk food and it's also more easily accessible, but would you rather save $1 per meal for getting something that's cheaper and worse for your health, or would you rather have an extra 20 years of life and not die from colon cancer at 30 years old, which is very common right now, by the way. Go look it up. And if you do live in America, you really have to think about the situation. Our healthcare is not free. This country strives off of charging people to provide their own health and wellness. At the same time, they are hurting every person that lives here because they know they have to come back. When you go to a doctor for something, they put a band-aid on your wound. They put another band-aid on your wound. They don't do anything to fix the actual problem and what it's deriving from. You go to a psychiatrist, the purpose is to give you medication, but how often are you going to be referred to a psychiatrist versus someone that's actually going to have a conversation with you and find out the deep roots of these things and give you the proper meditation and help that you need to make sure that this internal problem isn't just masked by some medication, that it's fully taken out of your system. I'm obviously not a doctor in the subject, but I know enough to know that we can help ourselves more than this government is trying to help us. If you really think about what they're benefiting off of us, they are not trying to help you. You need to help yourself. It's not that hard. You just need to stop falling into the system and stop being like everybody else and realize you are going to be the only person that values your life, honestly. The second physical part of this is to exercise. When I said to exercise, I'm not talking about going to the gym to look good. If you don't want a certain physique, that's not even what I'm talking about. It's just the chemicals that your body produces. Having a meal and walking or just moving for at least 15 minutes after you consume it is going to use the glucose that you just consumed, and it's going to spike your insulin and boost your metabolism so that your body can shoot into the momentum of metabolizing and digesting your food properly so you don't feel disgusting and bloated right after. Why do you think everybody in Europe is so skinny? Not only because they're not eating processed and chemical-filled foods, but they also have to walk to almost everywhere that they go. They want to go to the grocery store, they walk 5 minutes down the street. In America, you want to go to the grocery store, 10 to 20 minute drive. The only walk you get is from your car to the door. The walk inside, where you're leaning on a grocery cart the entire time. You go to anywhere in Europe, the parking lots are like a mile away. There's no parking lots in front of the building, and if they are, it's honestly rare, and nobody really does it anyway because you can just walk. You just have to understand this country is working against you. This country is too large. It's not practical. It's not meant for humans. It's meant for vehicles. Anyway, aside from the physical health part of stopping destroying your brain, we need to work on probably the most prevalent. You guys are so bored. You guys wake up, pick up your phone, scroll through, find nothing, close the app, go open another app, find nothing, close that app, open the next app, find nothing, and then next thing you know, you're all the way to the point where you're checking your emails and you still haven't found anything that's gotten you thrilled or gotten you out of bed, and you've been awake for 2 hours. We spend more of our time on our phones online admiring other people's talents because people go out into the world, they learn things, they teach themselves stuff, and then they have the spare time because they make the time and they don't brain rot and doom scroll. They make the time to create content like this. Go record themselves playing a piano in a public restaurant where everyone's peeking their ears and looking, and then you can sit there and go, oh, this is so nice. Find a skill. Go pick any skill, even if it's something that you don't care about. It doesn't matter what it is. Just make use of your time. You are alive on this earth to work. You know, people will make the excuse of, well, what's the point of exercising? What's the point of going and working off all these calories if I'm just gonna go and eat them right after? What's the point of eating? What's the point of eating if you're just gonna poop it out right after? Your purpose on life is work. If you've ever taken a chemistry course in college or something, then you understand the definition of work. It doesn't always have to be about a production of something. Life is just about doing, to make yourself have purpose and to give yourself purpose. You can't look at everything and go, how am I gonna benefit from it? What if I don't end up with anything left over? People that go and work jobs to pay their bills, they have their bills and then they have $0 at the end of it. Not everybody, obviously, but some people like that. But they don't go, oh, this is pointless, I'm gonna quit working. Because that's what they have to do with their time. If they want a roof over their head, if they want a car to drive in, if they want food on their table, they have to go and work. It doesn't matter if it comes back to zero at the end of the day. They made use of their time so that they can keep living another day. What we're not gonna do is sit around, want nothing to do with our existence. That is our purpose on earth. Our purpose on earth is to make use of ourselves. Whether or not you feel like you You are constantly evolving. It's not going to happen overnight. You might feel like it's useless and you've been doing the same stuff for years or months or whatever, but overall, as long as you keep yourself sustained and you keep yourself in a cycle of life, some things are going to just naturally come in, and you just have to be patient and trust the process. If you keep dreading how long things are going to take, you're just going to become impatient and you're never going to appreciate anything. Nobody's appreciating the moment right now. They make a list and they look at all of these things online and they think of all of the things that they want to do, all the things that they want to save up for, and then they go and do nothing about it. You are alive right now. Get up, do something. You are awake. Literally get up and do something. Whether it's wanting to learn an instrument, learn how to draw, learn how to sing, learn how to do your hair properly. Let's say you have curly hair and you never even knew that because you never accessed it and took care of your hair. Go look up online. What are the things you need to buy for it? What is the treatment you need to do? Go and test it out. Maybe you go buy all those products, you test it out, you don't know how to do it, it doesn't work, and you ended up wasting your money. I don't know, go return that stuff. Whatever, at the end of the day, you just made use of your time and you didn't sell your soul to online people. Another thing is, even if it's something that you have no cares about, once you apply yourself to a subject and you kind of like force yourself to, have you ever been at school and you learned about something you probably didn't ever care about learning, but you kind of just learned it anyway, and then like the next day you hear someone talking about it and you're like, oh my god, I literally just learned that. And hello, they obviously, this isn't some crazy coincidence, they just started talking about it because you learned about it. People probably talked about it all the time and you just never realized because you didn't even know what it was. Your brain just looked over it anytime it was brought up or anytime it was shown to you. That happens to me a lot, and it's happened to me enough times where I know it's not just a coincidence, and like I'll literally learn something and the next thing you know, I hear it everywhere. Or for example, like everyone's making the Wanda and whatever thing from that one TV show where it's like green and purple, and now everyone, when they see green and purple, they're like, oh my god, he has like fairly godparents. Like, no, the colors green and purple were always out there and they were always combined, whether it was the Hulk or something. But because you made your mind aware of it, you're like actively looking out for it. Even if you're not actively looking out for it, it's conditioned in your brain to see it and associate it with something. And what's important about that, the point that I'm trying to make, is you might not think that there's importance to a lot of things, but just make something important to you. Because even being able to have that realization and have a connection with a little thing like that, like freaking colors that you see in a store, it gives you that little joy. Like it literally does. It's like, oh my god, I didn't even notice that. And you might think that that's stupid, but guess what? It's a lot better use of your time and your brain power than to be on your phone and scroll until your brain is literally fried and you don't even want to do anything else with the rest of your day because your brain already consumed enough information that you don't even feel like there's a point to walking outside. Do you really want that to be the rest of your life? Do you want your life to consist of other people's existence? They literally get up and they go do things enough to have the time to show you guys. We are all created with the same free will, and obviously not everyone gets birthed into a place with equal opportunity, but if you're in a position where you know you can literally just get up, teach yourself something, go enjoy something, go make something, be creative, go and do it. You are going to feel so much better afterwards. Even if you don't think so, just trust me, you are going to find purpose in yourself, and not only may you find something on accident that you actually really enjoy it, but you're just going to feel more confident knowing that you know more. Knowledge is power. Like literally knowledge is power. Even if you're not going to make a career out of it or you're not going to do a bunch of things with it, just knowing that you know more gives you that confidence to carry yourself better in conversations, given that if they were to bring up a crazy topic, you probably would have some advantage to be able to continue it on versus literally being blank. I don't know what you're talking about. That sounds crazy, but I don't really care. Who wants to think like that? That's why you can't get along with people. That's why you can't have long sequences of communication. That's why you're limited to only a select group of people, and that group of people are the people that know just the same amount of information as you and do just as much with their lives. You don't see people that are millionaires be friends with homeless people. And I'm not saying that to like crap on homeless people, but I'm saying they know what they're aware of, so they go surround themselves with people that are also aware of the same things and have the same level of knowledge because they can relate to them and they can just get used to the environment and they can enjoy the environment and they can thrive in it because they can feel confident knowing that if they start talking about something, that person's going to either probably see on the same side as them or be able to agree or just understand what the heck they're talking about. After you go find some skills and you force yourself to go learn them or get used to them or whatever, make goals. Just make goals for yourself. Whether it's, I want my goal to be, I cook at least one meal for myself a week. I want my goal to be that I try on at least one outfit per week. Let's say you're so depressed, you don't even shower. You don't even brush your teeth. Make that a goal. Make any goal. Having any goal gives yourself motivation to live. Having a goal about the stupidest, smallest things gives yourself accountability to make sure that you live another day because you have something that you need to do, whether it's big or small. You have something you need to do. You think those men that are like 70 years old that wake up and go take shrimp out of a freezer for their job, you think that they dreamed their entire childhood of living out this life? No, but that's where they ended up, and God bless them. But at the end of the day, they still tell themselves, you know, if I don't feel like I have a large purpose in life, this is what my purpose is. If I'm not gonna go take that shrimp out the freezer and go sell it to some people on the street, nobody else will. That's what they tell themselves, and that's why they get their asses up at 5 a.m. and then go do their job. We need people like that to do the little jobs to keep this this world circulating. I had a family member when I was growing up, she was so depressed. Like, we would literally get onto her every other week about being like, girl, you need to have hygiene. You need to take care of yourself. Like, you're literally rotting in your house. You're rotting. You share a room with us. We literally see you rotting every single day. And it got to the point where she didn't care about it so much that I don't even know if it was herself or if it was us, but whoever did it, it helped. She literally wrote a chart. She made a chart. She put it on her wall on her side of the room, and it was a chart logging every single time that she would take a shower. And even if it was once a week, it was accountability. And you know what? It went from 0 to once a week to twice a week to 3 times a week to the point where it was every single day. If she never took that initiative and made it a goal for herself or did any form of routine or holding herself accountable, it probably would have never happened. And she would have never found a purpose in it. If you can't have a goal, make a routine. Either way, having a goal or having a routine that you have to stick to, it's accountability. It gives you a reason to get up. If you can't get up for yourself, get up for God. If you can't get up for God or yourself, get up for the freaking paper on the wall that you told that you would get up and do it for. I have never in my life been someone to journal a lot. I'll always occasionally buy a journal and then journal like for like 1 or 2 days in a row and then be like, screw this, it's not gonna actually help me. I'm just being delusional and I'm telling myself because I want to be artsy or whatever. But the other day, what I've been doing is I'm like, I can't be telling all these people to go help themselves and then I'm literally still sitting here doing the same thing. I got a book, one of my old books that I used to write in 3 years ago. Literally the last time I wrote in it was 3 years ago, but it's still like 99% empty because I never did anything more besides the first 2 pages, and I started writing in it. And every single night I keep it on my bed. I put it under my pillow so I feel that hard rock under my head, and I know before you go to sleep, take this book out. The pencil is already stuck in the book. It's already there. You have no excuse. You freaking tell your computer to turn on the light. You don't even have to get up and turn the light off and on to write in your book and be able to see in it. Write a page worth of affirmations, a page worth of manifestations, and then a prayer on another page and recite it. After you do it, read it out loud. And you know what that does for me? It holds me accountable. Not only am I literally admitting to myself on paper what I want to hold my standard to, but I'm also admitting it to God, literally writing to him in my book. And then I'm saying it out loud at the end on top of it. So I'm saying it to myself in real time, in writing and in real time. And it's before I go to sleep. So it's going to manifest in my dreams. And then I'm going to wake up the next morning with that book right next to my face. I'm going to look at it right next to my phone. I'm not going to try to go on my phone first. I'm literally going to look at it and I'm going to have both of the options right in front of me so that guilt is right there. If I put that book away on a shelf out of my face, I would give myself the excuse of, oh, I forgot about it. I didn't see it. But I'm literally holding myself accountable, not because I really want to. I'm forcing myself to, and that's what's getting it done. Tracking yourself gives you accountability. Even if you're not making a goal that you have to work to or meet every single day or every single week or whatever span of time, tracking yourself is equally accountable. When you exercise, go write down somewhere, whether it's in your phone, whether it's on some health app, whether it's on your computer or telling it to a friend, even a text to a friend or something. Letting somebody know, speaking it into existence after it's happened holds you accountable because you're not the only soul in the world that knows now. You know that you're not. You know you're not the only thought that's considering it. There's other people that know about it now. There's someone that could go and pick up that book and read it and see that you did it. It kind of puts you in a position where you're like, well, I would be embarrassed if I told them that I was doing this and then I didn't meet up to that expectation. Or I would be embarrassed if a year from now I opened this book and looked and all I did was go to the gym one time. Just thinking about that, it really helps. It sounds so stupid, but it genuinely helps. And I'm saying it as a person that has had to do that to get myself out of bed in my most depressed times. I had to go and lie through my teeth, tell all these people, yeah, I want to do this. I'm going to do this, da 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 da. And then after I said it, I'm like, well, I'm not a liar, so I'm going to go do it. Also, the best way to let this come naturally to you is to understand that habits are natural. We're naturally going to have habits towards anything in our lives. We're naturally going to find comfort in structure and in routine and in repetition. And we're going to find comfort in the things we're comfortable with, things that we always do, things that we always know, things that are innate to us, like are things embedded in our personalities. But what people miss and what people don't look at when they justify their wrong habits is that you can choose what your habits are. You can have habits. You can allow yourself things that you're addicted to, but choose what you are addicted to. Just make sure that you're making it the right things. Yeah, for sure. You can get yourself addicted to drugs or to alcohol or to junk foods or processed foods that are also meant to help you be addicted to them. But that's you in your own mind justifying the addiction, honestly. Just get up. Just get up. Find something else that you could easily latch onto. Find something that's easily as accessible, but just make sure that it's something that's productive, something that's helping you physically, mentally, emotionally, helping other people. Maybe you get addicted to donating your money. Instead of getting addicted to splurging every single time you get a paycheck, get addicted to donating your money to homeless people or to shelters or to orphanages. And that goes on to my next thing, reward yourself. After you've gone through all of this work of maintaining goals, maintaining structure, holding yourself accountable, having routines, learning a new skill, not eating the junk food and the processed foods anymore, exercising, spiking your insulin to get your metabolism going, eating more protein than carbohydrates. Reward yourself. You're going to positively reinforce these habits and they're going to stick with you. You're going to condition yourself to want to continue to help yourself. But when I say reward yourself, I don't mean reward yourself with the things you're running from. That's how you relapse. And that's how anyone relapses. They go, oh, well, I worked so hard towards being sober for 3 years. One drink won't hurt. Yes, it will. You have muscle memory. Your brain has muscle memory. Your brain is going to do exactly what your body lets it do. The second you physically allow your body to do something, your brain is going to immediately get that dopamine and it's going to immediately be like, oh, I remember this. I like this. We're doing this again. We're doing this again. Yes, give it to me. I want more. I want to keep going. Reward yourself healthily. If you know that you had a shopaholic shopping addiction and you would spend your money on expensive brands, clothes that you throw away anyway and you don't even wear, or expensive food because you like dining out and eating crazy things, pick and choose what you're splurging on. Go spend that money on new gym clothes. Go splurge that money on a brand new gym outfit that's going to motivate you to go back into the gym. Go get yourself different types of gym shoes. Tennis shoes, running shoes, soccer cleats, boom. 3 different things that you have to go and commit to now. You got to go play tennis, you got to start hiking and running, and you got to play soccer now. New books, splurge on books. You went and you saw these pretty shiny hardcover books you thought were so cute and they're so aesthetic. Now you bought them. Now you spent $50 on them. You gave your money to the publisher. The least you could do is respect yourself and respect them and read the book. Pilates classes, yoga classes, kickboxing. Go splurge your money on the $150 classes that are 1 hour long. You're addicted to going spending your money and being bougie. Go spend your money and being bougie on something that's going to help you. It's going to hold you accountable for your physical and mental health. And then if you're a foodie, if you really want to splurge and go buy some nice food, go get something healthy. Go get yourself a filet, least amount of fat. Go to some fine dining restaurant. Go get yourself a nice steak that they're going to sear for you. Go get the most delicious, nutritious vegetables with it. Go and get some tartare of some minced meat that's also going to be healthy for you. You don't have to look at your money and go, oh, let me splurge on getting the $10 insomnia cookies that are also 1,200 calories per freaking cookie. You have to want to help yourself. Nobody else wants to help you. Sure, your friends want to help you, your parents want to help you, yada yada, but at the end of the day, they're their own people and they have to prioritize themselves first. Sometimes they don't, and they honestly shouldn't. They should care about themselves just as much as you should care about yourself. This government, this economy, the people selling you this stuff, they are not trying to help you. Even the people selling you the expensive steak. So the least you can do is weigh your options and go, all right, all of these people want to use me. All these people know that I'm a consumer. They're the producers. The least I can do is look at my options and take the best that's going to provide my well-being and that's going to support the goals that I now have for myself because you just made them. Anyway, that's all I have for this video today. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. I hope this helped you realize the cycle that you're stuck in. So now you know exactly what you need to break and how to do it and what are the most simple steps towards doing so. Bye.